Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jimbo, and today we're gonna be looking at a couple different products. I guess it's a cheap versus expensive, or cheaper versus more expensive different product. But this one is gonna be all about floor mats, and more specifically, all-weather floor mats. As we kind of get into this time of year with rain and snow and sleet, some people are transitioning over to these all-weather mats. I personally rock them all year because I just don't like carpet getting all messed up. So I decided to check out a couple. We recently went on a road trip and my mats are dirty to me. I'll show you them in a second. So I picked up a couple different products and have been playing with them to see how they clean and kind of rejuvenate the mat. So the first one up, I guess, is the Chemical Guys. This is their rubber and vinyl mat renew floor mat cleaner and protectant. Don't know how things can be a cleaner and protectant all in one. That seems kind of counterintuitive. If you have to clean, how is it also protecting? Cleaner is usually more aggressive. A protectant is not aggressive at all. Not sure how the chemistry mixes, but anyway, this 16-ounce bottle is gonna set you back about $9, at least the time of this recording. And then I also picked up the Adams polishes, which I dropped and broke the handle a couple times. But this rubber mat and liner cleaner, not a protectant, but a mat and liner cleaner, is gonna set you back about $14, at least the time of this recording. So let me show you the before on the mats, and then I'm gonna show the application process, if there's any differences, any scent differences, and then show you the end result. So let's get into it right now. So there's only one difference really in the instructions that vary between the Chemical Guys and the Adams, and that is the pre-rinse. So on the Chemical Guys one, in the directions, it definitely says to pre-rinse the mat, but on the Adams one, it doesn't talk about pre-rinsing the mat for any reason. And so because these mats look pretty grimy and gross, I am gonna do a quick rinse of the whole thing, and then I'm gonna spray half the mat with the Adams one, and then the other half with the Chemical Guys one, and then let them air dry. They both say that you can either towel dry with a microfiber towel, or you could use a compressed air to dry them if you want to do that. But I'm probably I'm maybe gonna do a combo of the both, do a little bit of air drying and then set them out to fully dry out in the sun. So let's start with a pre-rinse and then go from there. And I'll start with the Chemical Guys. I'm gonna do, seemed like the heaviest grime was over on this side. And then I'll do the Adams kind of over here. Try to rotate them through, I guess. Let's do the Adams right here, and we'll finish up this side with the Chemical Guys. And then for the larger mats, I'll do the Adams on the driver's side, the Chemical Guys on the passenger side, which arguably the passenger side is worse considering my wife and kids sit on that side and don't really care what they do. Spray a little bit more on the Adams side. And what I'm looking for with these, as I go get a brush, what I'm looking for really in these products is which one, if any, kind of rejuvenates the mat. I know the Chemical Guys talked about protecting the mat, which would kind of mean to me dressing almost, but what I'm really looking for is which one makes the mat look better. So they do both recommend after a dwell time to kind of hit with a brush. Let's make sure we hit both these sides. I don't like the Chemical Guys directions to pre-rinse. I think it dilutes down the cleaner too much. These are obviously gonna be heavier duty cleaners. Let me try to rinse out in between. Let's do the Adams. So I prefer to do it without a pre-rinse, but trying to make the test as even as possible. You can see the nice foaming with the Adams. Seems like the Chemical Guys doesn't foam up as well, but maybe just need to get a little more agitation going. I think the real ones to look at are gonna be these two. It's kind of hard on this longer mat to see if one will do better than the other. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, kind of let those dwell and then see where we're at. So definitely an interesting to note on the Adams, look at all this browning and crap that came off. And the Chemical Guy side just doesn't have that. Doesn't really have this browning. Look at the Adams one. Crazy grossness that came off is coming off the mat. We are about 99% dry on these floor mats, and honestly, in person, not sure if the camera's picking it up, but really in person, you would be hard pressed to find which one did better. These both did pretty equally as well. Really, really hard to tell which one did better. So here's an up close on the Adams, and if you see versus the before, did a really good job, and the brush helps to get in between all the nook and crannies, but did a good job. Definitely needs some sort of protection or dressing on there if you want more of a finished look, but definitely did a great job cleaning it. And here's the Chemical Guys again, compared to the before, did a very good job. I guess there's a couple areas I could have got better with the brush, but again, doesn't look overly dried out, but neither one of them look freshly restored, or this one definitely doesn't look like it has a protectant on it. All right, so what did you guys think about that? Do you think the Adams did better? Where we at? Right there? Do you think the Adams did better, or did you think the Chemical Guys one did better? You do save about $5 going with the Chemical Guys one, but there was something for me, if you want my opinion, about the Adams, seeing that kind of dirt and grime come off and kind of seep off the floor mat that the Chemical Guys didn't do. At the end of the day, it's very hard to tell which one did better when you look at the end result. But when you're looking at during the process, there was something about seeing the brown come off the floor mat that kind of gave me the illusion, and I say illusion because I don't know if it was actually doing anything when you look at the end result, but I will say that there was something about that in my psyche that made me feel like the Adams was doing something more that the Chemical Guys wasn't. Another thing I didn't like about the Chemical Guys, I mean, it's very clear that there's no protectant built into this, that they basically threw that in there as kind of trying to capture more people with saying, or trying to differentiate their product. There's definitely no protectant. You're definitely gonna need to follow up with some sort of protectant, and I can even feel it in my hands as I'm standing here that this is a heavy duty cleaner. I probably made a big mistake by not using gloves, which I should have, but I tend to forget. But these are heavy duty cleaners, and there's no way a heavy duty cleaner, if we think about it, logically, something that's breaking down dirt, grime, barf, whatever, is not gonna also have the capability of having a protectant in it as well. So again, no surprise there, that Chemical Guys is lying a little bit, but again, you're only saving about $5 either way, so do what you feel is best for you. There was just something for me with the Adams that I liked seeing that kind of dirt roll off, like I said. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any suggestions for future videos like this, and don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button that I'll leave down for you below. And check out the Auto Detailing Podcast on Spotify, YouTube Music, all the places. Heck, you could even tell Alexa, play the Auto Detailing Podcast, and she'll do that for you, which is pretty cool. So with that, I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. See ya.